Alright. Welcome back. This is James, and also known as the Ogre Zerg, and this will be part 3 to What If Deku Was the Shield Hero? In the last part, we had left off with Izuku basically putting the fear of death into, like, this guy that made a bad comment towards Raftalia. And Izuku had basically broken down and everything. He had in the herbalist shop, and they had power trained a little bit. And Raftalia got a little bit of XP and a little bit of knowledge, and she needs new clothing because like her clothes are dirty, and she only had like two sets of clothes, and she is a little bit bigger. So they go and take care of that. They go to like a God, what is that place's name? Sorry about the little interruption, but he goes to the tailor shop and he basically explains that he needs to get some clothes for. He basically explains that he needs to get some clothes for Raptalia and a few size bigger because she seems like she's growing. And the tailor says it'll take me like a day, but here's a set. It'll take me like a couple of days to like make all of this, but I do have something in the meantime. And so like he gets a few undergarments, and now he is thinking it's like, well, she has this like her armor, like her battlements and stuff will be fine for now. So then, like, Ralph Talia's stomachs, like, they they go to an inn, and Izuku gets a room for the night, and he requests something that's away from people because he says his companion is like hasn't like does tends to scream at night. And over the night, Deku, he does get waken up by Raftalia, and he kind of calms her down again, and she goes back to sleep. And about like after a bit, when he's sure that she's okay, he himself goes back to sleep, and he's had like locked up the door and everything, and made sure it's not going to be easy for someone to come in because there are still people in the city that hate his freaking guts simply because he's the shield hero. And he now understands why people just have such a disgust for like the shield hero, and it's because of the Three Heroes Church. So he's going to be a little bit more wary of the church than what Naofumi was, but Izuku's not going to be a dick about things like Naofumi was in this series. So during that night, Izuku starts having the weird dreams again about people. Hold on a moment. I am at work and I just had a guest pull up, so I'll be right. Sorry about that interruption, guys. I think where we last left off in the part was when Deku had started having weird dreams of people using quirks and stuff like that, and it kind of reminds him of like what happened with Black Whip, and this is a little unsettling to him because he doesn't really have anyone that he can talk to. I bought this and everything because no one in this world would understand exactly what the hell he's talking about. They just think like quirk, like when he shows off his quirk and everything, that it's just magic to everyone else. But it's not magic, it's a quirk. It's different. It's still supernatural, but it's different. So that being said, like he started having like the weird dreams again, and he wakes up. He's kind of wakes up in a cold sweat, and he starts thinking, and it's like, was that just a dream? Was it the same thing when like Black Whip manifested? What's going on? Is he going to like start getting his new quirks in, because he was told that he will like develop more quirks of the past users. So that being said, Izuku like is sitting there, and he's just thinking. He's gotten ready and everything, and he's just sitting in the room, and Raftalia like finally wakes up, and she's looking around, and then she's like, I'm sorry, Master Melfi. God, not Melfi. I'm sorry, Master Midori. I slept in, and you were up before me. And Izuku's like, you don't have to worry about that, Raftalia. Like I said, like, I'm not going to treat you like I own you, okay? And I'm only going to like use that crest if I need you to do something to like protect yourself, okay? You are your own person, and you have your own needs and wants, so like, you don't have to be afraid of me, of offending me. If anything, I'm more concerned about you and everything. So this is like Raftalia is still like a little bit wary of Izuku, but she knows he's a good guy. So she gets ready and everything, and she goes to like change with Izuku there, and Izuku immediately like turns around, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm changing, Master." And Izuku's like, "You don't have to do that in front of me, you know. Where I come from, like, women shouldn't undress in front of a guy unless there's something going on between them. And this is a subject I really don't like talking about." And Raphtalia's like, "I'm sorry, Master. It's just..." And Izuku's like saying, while not facing her, "It's fine, just hurry up. And next time, just let me know you need a change, and I'll step outside." So that little interaction happens, and Izuku is thinking and everything while they're going downstairs. They come to the base of the steps, and this whole morning Izuku's been thinking about like the weird dreams he was having. And the innkeeper says, "Oh, Shield Hero, you're finally up. Are you guys going to be staying another night?" And Izuku's like, "No, I have some training to do." And because of Izuku's constant presence coming there and eating meals and stuff, the innkeeper still doesn't like the Shield Hero because of his faith, but he's like, whatever, the dude has coin, and he doesn't cause trouble. So the innkeeper doesn't like Izuku, but at the end of the day, he is a businessman and wants to make money. And he's a patron, even though he's the detestable Shield Hero. He doesn't cause trouble at the end. If anything, he has stopped a few of the ruffians at night and everything from like destroying things in the place. And this is why he tolerates the Shield Hero, even though he thinks he's evil. He's still wary of him. Like the innkeeper keeps a really good eye on this dude. He's like, the moment this dude makes a mistake, he's out of here. I'm not gonna tolerate like the Shield Hero. But over time, like, the innkeeper will lighten up towards Izuku, just because Izuku will either talk no jutsu him or just showing by his actions in character. like he has been. And these things do take time. But you do have some people like the herbalists, like I said in the last part, who are kind of atheistic, believe in like these powers because they use them themselves. But they don't think they come from like gods and stuff like that. And they don't believe in like the Three Heroes Church. So you have like the religious zealots that are like, oh, nothing to do with the shield hero, and constantly try to like backstab him or make it to where you would fail. And then you have like the religious people that are like, hey, if you don't with me, I won't mess with you, but I'm still not going to trust you. And then you have the religious people that are like, whatever, man, like you're a good person, you probably did do what you did, still think you're like, by nature, you need to overcome your nature. And then you have like the atheistic people that are like, whatever, religion's dumb. And so Izuku, getting back to the story, sorry about the tangent, but it's something that I think I didn't clearly explain in the one. So back to our story. So Izuku's like, no, I think I need to get some camping gear and everything, because I just have the one tent and it's like a one person, and I don't really have any blankets or anything like that if it gets cold or stuff like that. And I also need to get some better cooking things. So Izuku's like, as the innkeeper, is there any place that sells like camping material and stuff like that? Like a really good quality, like camping gear. And he explains, well, I'm not sure about that, but the blacksmith should have something on that matter. And Izuku does go, and like they do get breakfast and like get something to eat, and then they head over to the blacksmith. On the way, Izuku sees someone getting like jumped and robbed and everything. He stops it, grabs like the money, and the person's looking at Izuku like in fears, like don't hurt me, you can take all my money. And Izuku's like, I don't want your money. I didn't. God, you people are. I'm not even sure it's worth saving your guys' lives anymore. But I'm still gonna do it because that's my job. Here's your money. Keep it out of sight again. And stop like coming like down an alleyway by yourself. Take more responsibility for yourself. Don't expect people to like help you out when you need it the most. Because this world's kind of cruel. It's not like my world. So after that, Izuku is like walking with Reptalia, and Reptalia's like, "Why do you say that, Master?" And Izuku kind of like looks down at her and he's like, "You know, like even though I wanted to say something different, it's just this world's really different, and people don't like me, so I might as well use that to my advantage, you know? Even though it like hurt it." Kind of is upsetting that I have to behave that way, because I want to be a hero. I don't want to be like a jerk. But just some people are just so. And so they continue on their way and everything, and Raphtalia like sees like this vendor with some sweets, and Izuku goes up and gets like two of them, and then Raphtalia's kind of looking at him like with eyes, and like Izuku like hands one to her, and she's like, "Is this for me, Master?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead, eat it." And this like Raphtalia's tail like starts swagging and everything, and this kind of cheers up Izuku and lightens the mood up that he's been in, but he's still thinking, and it's like, what's the meaning behind that dream? And it's like, was like when I met the user of Black Whip, and he said that I would be getting more quirks. So he's thinking that he may develop another quirk soon. So that about a few minutes later, they arrive at the blacksmith shop, and the blacksmith is like, "Well, I do have some camping gear. It's not like the best, but it'll get you through." And Izuku's like, "Well, I need a bigger tent because right now there's only a one-person tent, and it'd be a little bit more cumbersome, I think, carrying like multiple tents with us. So do you have something like a two-person like tent or something?" And Izuku is, he gets it. He gets like the tent, and then he's like, "Do you have like a bigger sword or something that Reptalia can get? Because that little dagger, she's going to be outgrowing that soon. And also, I'm going to need some more armor because my stuff is kind of getting soggy and everything. It's getting worn out as well." So the blacksmith like says, "Well, I do have a few things that you can get and everything." And Izuku got like, he says, it'll take me a day to get everything ready. So you can come by this evening and pick everything up. And Izuku's, "Yeah, that's fine. Like, we can go and do a little bit more training." So they leave the city and they do a little bit more leveling, and Reptalia gets a little bit bigger, and she's like apologizing again. And Izuku says, "It's fine. That's why I got more clothes." And he basically get like goes behind, like asks her like go like behind a bush, and like he kind of turns around, and she changes, and she comes out, and Izuku's like, "There, better." And so this is like the beginning of when Reptalia really starts trusting Izuku, because they've spent several days and like a couple weeks together by this point, and Izuku is she's about half half as big as she was when Izuku got her, or like met her and everything. So she's doing a lot better, and she's gotten more proficient with the sword. And so like Izuku's like, "Well, I think it's about time for us to head back to town." And Raftali like, "Hmm." And like when they get to town and everything, Raftalia's like stomach starts growling, and Izuku starts laughing. And Raftalia is like, "I'm sorry, master." And Izuku says, "No, it's fine. Like we were actually, so I guess we should get something to eat before we go by the blacksmith's." And the Izuku like goes to like the market area, and like they get some fruit and stuff like that, and Izuku hands some stuff to Reptalia, and she's just smiling. She's like, "Is this really all for me?" And Izuku says, yes it is, you silly." And so they make their way to the blacksmith's shop, and they gather like their gear and stuff, and Izuku like turns to Raftalia and is like, do you want to go camping out tonight, or do you want to spend in the inn?" And this is when Raftalia like begins to say, "Well, wouldn't it be cheaper to stay in the woods? Like, we kind of need to save all our money, right?" And Izuku's like, "No," he agrees to that. So they go out, and like they make like a campsite back over by like the river that they have found during like their time in the woods, and Izuku begins to like he spends some time after Raftalia's sleep like going through like the menu on his screen, And he's seeing a few things, and he's seeing like his potion enhance. Like he's like, okay, this, and then like he comes across like a section he doesn't quite understand yet, and then he's like, okay, I need to come back to this and look over that. And then he sees like another section that's about like shield upgrades and stuff like that. Like a secondary section of like the shield tree, and it's like upgrades, and he's like, oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look at that, but at last I'm getting a little bit tired. So with that, I'm gonna end it here. And I want to apologize about like the choppiness in some of the areas. I had to stop multiple times because I am at work and I have been having guests come up. But I wanted to get something out today because I pretty much have like pulled a double last night and I have to pull another double today and haven't had time to like really record. So that being said, thank you guys so much for the 200 subs, and one moment. Alright, this is the person that got us to 200 subs, so if you guys liked the new series, you can thank this user. He's the one that got us to 200 subs. So, that being said, I will get to the next part in the leveling Deku. I think that's going to be my next video that I work on. And then I will work on the script, like getting the ideas together that I want to cover for the extraterrestrial Deku. And I will attempt to get a recording for for part 1 of the news of the other Isekai Deku that I'm going to be doing. So, with that being said, I'm going to end it here. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, because it does help out with getting the channel more exposure. So, that being said, see you guys in the next episode.